Hello everyone and welcome to E.G. Jewel Lapidary. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you can solder multiple embellishment or items that you want to solder at the same time. Excuse me. So when you solder, if you can, instead of soldering one piece at a time, you'll solder everything together. So stick around, don't go away, and we'll be back and I'm going to show you all this. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing first so you could have an idea of the item that I'm going to solder together, and then we go from there. And also I want to explain to you a few things about the solder itself. So let's have a look. Now these are the items that I'm going to be doing. There is the stone. This is the stone that I'm going to have. Now there is the bezel that I'm going to have. This is the base plate. I have the twisted wire that's going to go around the bezel. I also have these items that are going to go around and going to be soldered at the same. I try to solder everything simultaneously at the same time, but due to the space that I have, and I'm using the hummingbirds, I don't have enough room to do all this. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to solder these two, the bezel and the wire. I'm going to put them in. I'm going to solder these two, then I'm going to solder the rest of them. But before we start with that, let me talk to you about the solder itself. You know, what do we use? We know that we have hard, medium, and easy solder. Let me focus a little bit on the screen so I can show you. Here we are. Okay, so what I have here, I hope you can see all this. We have hard solder, medium, and easy. The metal alloy in the silver solder itself, it contains silver, contain copper, zinc, and tin. The hard solder, it's 75% silver, 22% copper, 3% zinc, no tin. The medium is 70% silver, 20% copper, 10% zinc, no tin. The easy is 56% silver, 22% copper, 17% zinc, and 5% tin. Now, as you could see here, the higher content of silver, it's on the hard, then the medium, and then the easy. Now, the copper is between 20 and 22 for all of them. So you got the easy and the hard is 22% copper, 20% is the medium. Then you have the other addition. In the easy, you get the tin, and you get also 17% zinc. Now, this makes it to flow a lot easier. So when we look at it, we know that the hard solder, it will take longer to melt versus the easy solder. So one thing we have to watch is that when we solder, we make sure to solder first with the hard solder, and then the next one will be the medium solder, and then the easy solder will be the last thing. So if we're doing, for instance, the bezel, so we're going to put the bezel in, and this is the first solder I'm doing. I'm going to use the hard solder. So let's say we made a mistake and I put the easy solder first, and then I put, for instance, the hard solder to solder something else beside it or on the same component. What happened is the hard solder is going to take longer to heat in order for the solder to melt. Therefore, the easy or the medium that I did before is going to melt before, with the lower, like it will melt before the hard solder, and it will break that piece that I soldered before. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So the way to do it is you start with the hard solder, then you go in with the medium, and then you go with the easy solder. So anytime that you solder anything, you need to figure out how it's going to be done, or what you're going to solder first, what you're going to solder second, when are you going to solder the last thing. So I'm going to show you also that in the one I'm doing here. Okay, so in this particular one here, I'm going to solder, like I said, these two together first, because I couldn't put everything else to put my my hummingbirds to hold everything. So I'm going to solder these two together to the plate, and then I'm going to add these here to solder all around. So if I'm doing this one here, this is the first one I'm going to solder. That's going to be hard solder. I'm going to use the hard solder first. Then on the other embellishment, I'm going to solder all these simultaneously at the same time. So I'm going to use medium solder for these. I could use the easy solder if I want to solder in the back. Now these here already been this is going to be sweat solder. So these are sweat solder. I had the solder already in the back on all of them, including these here. I already dipped all these here with the boric acid and denatured alcohol to cover the surface, except for these two. So I'm going to do these two for you to see what I'm doing right now. So this is the boric acid that I have, and I'm just going to take it and dip it inside. Put it out here. Same with the other one. Put it outside, and make sure you close this because of the alcohol in it, and just light up. And what happened is you burn the alcohol out, and you keep that surface covered. So now all of them are done the same way. So this one here, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna weld first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this one in position, set it up, and then hold down the bezel with the wire simultaneously. Then put the solder all around. Hummingbird, just hold them down. Put some on the wire and some right on the bezel itself. Okay, so now make sure they're all down. I'm going to use the hard solder. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Okay, so now this is going to take the hummingbirds away, and you need to use the oops, it's going to fall down. So yeah, use the tweezers because they are very hot. So this is the only way you can take them out. And now that looks good. All I have to do now is just put it into the I'll put it back again in the flux, the boric acid, again just to make sure that it's going to cover everything else that we burned out already, and then put the other pieces in, hold it down with the hummingbirds, and then we go from there. So I'm going to put it in the acid and then come back and do the rest. Now I have to get the other one ready. So we know that these are being coated with the boric acid. Now all I need to do is just put the flux on them. I got another video where I showed the flux and how to do the boric acid, how to put them together. So now what I'm going to do is just like I mentioned before, these are sweat soldered already, so I'm just going to put my flux on them to get them ready. Okay, so these are done. The flux I'm using right now, it's Ready Flux, that from Rio Grande, and I just put it down. Now I'm going to take the other one out from the acid. And put it in the water to clean the acid off. You could actually put borax also in the water, and that's take the acid away. So this here, it looks pretty good, strong. Okay, let's clean it up. Okay, you could see the bezel and the wire, it's already soldered. So we soldered two pieces together right now. So now we can put all the other stuff. I need the boric acid, which is this here. This is in the boric acid already. Let's clean it. There's quite a bit of here. Okay, right there. And again, you close the lid. You don't want it to catch fire. And here we go. That what happened is dries up the boric acid and the alcohol. So now we can work with the other ones. So I'm gonna clean. Okay. Now I wonder if I can put it on the. If I put it on the charcoal block, it's a lot faster to heat, because what happened is the charcoal bring the heat from the bottom up. This here, which is a fire brick, it doesn't do that. So, well, let's see first if I have enough room also to do the. Now, before I do that, I need to put also the flux. So I'm going to have flux all around here. Like that, and also here. Okay. So we already have the flux under these here. Like I said, they're already swat soldered, so they're ready to go. All I have to do is just line them up. And this one will go right here. The other one goes on the other side, like that, and the flower bud goes in the center. Oops, that's okay. Now lining up everything. There you go. That looks pretty good. That looks okay. Now I need probably a small one to hold. See, this is very tight location. So maybe I can use this. Perfect. Everything right now is done. Oh, this came out. Oh, it gets stuck. Squeeze it from that where it belongs. Okay, right there. Okay. Perfect. That's good. This is good. And this is good. Just leave it a little bit to cool down. And then again it goes in the acid to get cleaned up. So that's basically all there is to it. Now it's going to be cleaned. I'm going to fit the, let me show you, give you a close up to this. There you go. Now once this is going to be cleaned up, it's going to be all nice and then polished. So let me put it in the acid. And so basically the setup when you start working and putting everything together, like I said, use the hard solder first, then you could use the medium, and then you could use the easy solder. For now, like I'm using, if I want to put something in the back, like the logo and the silver 925, whatever, sterling silver, I can solder that using easy solder, because that would be the last thing to do. Easy solder, I'm going to do it, it will not affect the other solder that they already put in. So it is very simple, it's very quick, especially if you have room. Like here I didn't have much room to work with, so I probably need a bigger area to work with that. But you could make do. So I did the bezel and the wire at the same time, and then I did the all the other embellishment afterwards, all at the same time. So it shouldn't take long, and it works. With the if you're using with the heat, make sure that you don't concentrate on one area. See, these bezels, it's gallery wire bezel, which is very fancy and very thin, and if you get the heat or the flame right on it, you're going to melt them very quickly. So be quick and stay around the outside of your plate, and then once in a while you go inside to make sure that you're heating the whole plate out, and back and forth. But you have to be quick. And the hummingbirds, and a lot of people they ask, are the hummingbird made out of steel? Well, yes, it is made out of steel. So it does help holding down because of the weight, and at the same time it will act as a heat sink. So if I'm putting over a small embellishment, over the gallery wire, it will take that heat away and concentrate the majority of the heat on the plate, on the bigger section of what you want to weld. Okay, so it is done already, and all I have to do after that, let me show you, give you a closer look. You could see here. See, this is all I have to do right now is just clean it, polish it, and I know I might add, if I don't like it, I might add something here. It just moved out a little bit here, so I might add something there. But going to be polished, trimmed, and I will do a liver of sulfur before I put the stone in, and then once it's done, I'm going to take the pictures in the video. It's going to be showing the complete pendant done with the stone in it. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to click on that bell down below, because if you do, every time I upload a new video, you will get an email from YouTube telling you that I already have a new video that been uploaded, and you get the first chance to look at it, so you don't miss anything. And if you like it, just give it a thumbs up, and you can comment. I do answer all my comments. And until next time, be good and be safe, and thanks for watching.